You pass Wonder Mountain, you got Vortex right on your right, and then you get to this hill where all the fireworks displays usually occur, and then behind me, where is Skyrider? Skyrider! It is Thursday, May the 9th. It is the first official day of the seasonal opening of Wonderland, and I've just done 5 rides in a row on yukonstriker. 5 rides in a row. Not bad. It's a complete walk-on, so I've got a lot to say in this review. So let's take our time and go detail through detail of my impressions of this ride.
The station, while nicely constructed, features an austere and thematically simple approach. A few theme signs on the walls are as extravagant as it gets here. With the height being as it is, the station offers a nice perspective around the Frontier Canada section of the park. Exit from the station is smooth as can be expected from a B&M, and the restraints at no time felt tight or intrusive in any way. The lift hill, positioned in the same general area as Skyrider, is extremely quick considering the 223-foot height of the ride.
I will admit, for a dive coaster, it only keeps you there for a brief moment before releasing you into the 245-foot harrowing drop. The opening Immelman, the highest inversion of the ride.
It is impressive, but not the ride's standout moment. We then head into the unique zero-G winder, which has to be the element of the ride given the speed and juicy airtime offered on every seat of the train. Then that loop, but more about that in a moment. The exit ramp out of the loop, given the speed and the roar of the train heading through the ditch constructed for it, has to be one of the elements of the ride. The following Immelman takes it at such a slow rate that it is one of the most nut parts of the ride. And the final helix, while seemingly pointless, is a fitting, if gratefully less painful version of the one found on the original ride found here.
I've heard a lot of talk about the slowness of yukonstriker going through its elements. Well, first of all, the back portion, that loop, is certainly not slow. In fact, it's got to be one of the fastest loops I've been in on a B&M coaster. But the 2 elements, the Immelman and then obviously the wing over cross-section turn around element. I'm not really sure what we're going to be calling that. There seems to be a couple of different terms people are using, none of which I think the ones that I just use are what people are using anyway. I don't really think that the point with this coaster is for you to be going that fast. So we're talking, this is Canada's Wonderland. Canada's Wonderland is not in competition with many other parks. It doesn't really need to sell itself really high in the thrill factor. That has never been really the case with the kinds of coasters that this park has had in its past. This is a groundbreaking coaster. It sets a new precedent for what we can accomplish with this park. Obviously, Leviathan and Behemoth got us onto the map, but I think that this is the coaster that really kind of sets a new precedent as far as the thrill level. Now, yeah, this is the largest drop on a dive coaster in the world. Is it the most thrilling dive coaster in the world? I haven't been on all of those, so I can't give a genuine perspective on that, but I will say it's definitely up there. This particular ride, I would say, is the perfect fit for Wonderland, because what we're really looking for is something that sort of puts us out there and says, hey, it's worth coming out on the outskirts of Toronto to actually enjoy this ride, but also at the same time, it's not so extreme that it's only limited to a certain type of segment of thrill seekers. If we really want that, we're only 6 hours away from Cedar Point and Kennywood and many other parks that will offer that kind of thing, Kings Island. The list goes on. talking points of this ride. The baggage system, which is running pretty well today. The real hang-up that it really only has is probably due to people using the system and just sort of slowing it down itself, not the system itself. It's all tethered together, so it has to run in sequence with the trains. No re-rides with bags on the system. So we're outside of the newly opened Klondike Outfitters, which is the Yukonstriker on-ride photo area. But I just wanted to touch on something that's kind of cool in this area. Hopefully we'll be able to capture these hats. The various colors. To be honest with you, I'm not too big on merch because sometimes it's pretty cheesy, at least in this day and age, but I'm a big fan of this. It's a very simple sort of hat we're talking. Okay, so we're running at $40 is what it retails at, which is pretty reasonable for that particular brand of cap. We've also got our loud merchandise here. This is a little bit more traditional stuff that I would not be surprised to see in, say, Carowinds and stuff like that. I was kind of disappointed by the loudness of the Fury 325 merchandise. Something a little bit understated is always good, but this is very nice, actually. Now, we're not... It looks like $30 for a t-shirt, but we've got a couple of exclusive Yukonstriker ones. I think these are limited edition. I might get one actually because they're only $30 a shot. But yeah, they're not the greatest design. $30 a shot there. Oh, we've got some more traditional Muskoka style Yukonstriker merch, which is kind of cool. I will say this store is also fitted out a lot better than the station. The roof in the station is kind of like just timber and plywood, whereas this roof is definitely built to be quite permanent looking, to be honest, so there might be more planned for this space. As you can see, it's kind of very vacant in the background too. Okay, so I promised these guys after 13 rides that they wouldn't see me anymore, so I'm making my way off of Yukonstriker territory. And a couple of things I'm just going to touch on because I feel like this is my last chance to really properly review the ride forever, because this is it. This is the debut. Ride operations, excellent job by these guys. They're very efficient. This is my second visit to the ride itself, but they're very good at getting people in and out and cycling. They're getting pretty good at figuring out this luggage system too. Preferred seat, I said it earlier, I'm going to emphasize it again just because I got 2 more goes out of it at the last session, which is the front right. If you're coming from wherever just to ride this ride, that is the only spot you really should be on the ride. Take care, we'll see ya. We're off. I promised I'd leave and I'm out, so we're off. I think that honestly, as it warms up through the day, Yukonstriker definitely speeds up. It's definitely running faster than those original point of views that people made a fuss about. We got a dive coaster that packs in thrills and that initial main element of the drop. So yes, you've got your drive, but you've also got this incredible direction change, wing over, wind over, wing ding, whatever they want to call it. But this element is probably the best part of the ride, to be honest with you. On that front right seat, it's just the air time and the floating and the fact that you have no idea where you're going, soaring through the air, second to none. Probably the best seat in this park if I were to choose anything. All right, so that is a wrap from Wonderland here and a wrap from my Yukonstriker review experience. Definitely going to say if you want to try a dive coaster that is not only record-breaking, but is going to pack in a bit of thrills in addition to what it offers in the form of just a 90-degree drop. And it is worth the drive, the flight, whatever you want to get out here to try Yukonstriker. I'm not going to give it a rating out of 10 or 5 or stars or anything like that. I'm just simply going to say it is probably the best dive coaster in the world, and it only can go and improve from where it is now. It's still young, and it may actually warm up and become even faster over the course of the season, so we shall see.